Hello everyone, this will be my recap of the 4th season of You. Alright, let's go. You know, because this season is really just Joe having a mental breakdown, I'm going to put this in an order that makes sense. That being said, Joe catches up to Marianne and kidnaps her. But to Joe, now known as Jonathan Moore, who's a professor, he lets her go. And as Jonathan Moore, he meets a group of rich people that he starts to kill off one by one while masquerading as their friend.
Geez, why don't you just hit me with that right from the start?
Well, there's actually 2 people in the group that he actually likes. The first one is a guy by the name of Reese Montrose. You see, Reese here is an actual person who doesn't know Joe. But Joe here hallucinates a version of Reese who's responsible for the murders and is actually framing Joe for it.
Yeah, but he's not real.
Exactly, so all of Reese's murders are actually just Joe's murders, and it's just Joe manipulating himself into believing that it's Reese, till he finally logs the real Reese out of life. That's when Joe finds out that he's been having a mental breakdown this whole season. But that's about 4 bodies later. 5 if we're counting Reese. Anyways, the second person that Joe actually likes is his love interest for the season, Kate. And surprisingly enough, the 2 actually hit it off, amidst all the murders. Anyways, Kate really hates her father, Tom Lockwood, who got really rich in ways that Kate does not approve of. So she tells Joe about her father's shady dealings. So Joe takes this as an opportunity to add 2 more bodies onto his growing international list. One of them being Tom Lockwood and the other being the bodyguard he frames for that murder.
He's good at this.
Unfortunately for Joe, as good as he is, 2 things don't go his way. The first is that one of his students, Nadia, catches on to him and helps Marianne escape by faking her death. The second is that after taking out Tom Lockwood, Joe really wanted to be done with his murderous ways, so he tries to log himself out of life, but he survives. That's when he confesses to Kate that he's a murderer and that he's not a good person. But Kate, knowing all this, chose to stay with Joe.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
Nadia and her boyfriend Eddie then tried to get evidence against Joe, but that was their last mistake, because Joe kills Eddie and frames Nadia for his murder. The season then ends with Joe and Kate moving back to New York, and Joe now going back to being called Joe Goldberg. Yeah, I hope I answered all of your questions, but if I didn't, be sure to leave a comment. I read them all. And if you liked that video, leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you want to know how Joe's story really began, you could watch this video right here. That's it.